the echo of silent halls. Acti, the night's quiet watch. The cathedral loomed grandly beneath the moon's serene gaze, an architectural sentinel amidst the city's scattered lights and fleeting shadows. Its ancient stone walls steeped in centuries of sacred history, cradled in air of cool reverence inside, the lingering fragrance of evening. Vespers hung like a delicate tapestry woven from threads of myrrh and frankincense, infusing the atmosphere with a timeless sanctity. Carlos, the night shift janitor, moved like a solitaire in this symphony of silence. His presence was almost ethereal as he glided across the expansive nave, the rhythmic swish of his mop leaving trails of devotion on the polished marble floor. Each step was a gentle whisper in the vast stillness, punctuated by the quiet, steady drip of water, a subtle cadence swallowed by the cathedral's grand silence. His heart was a heavy vessel, brimming with a yearning he struggled to articulate, a deep-seated longing for connection, a desire to be seen and heard beyond the empty pews that surrounded him like silent witnesses to his loneliness. Holy One, he murmured, his gaze lifting to the intricately crafted vaulted ceiling that seemed to stretch upward into the heavens themselves. I feel invisible here. Am I always to be this unseen servant, Lord? His voice faltered, caught between hope and despair, straining for something beyond the echo of his own voice. In the depth of his solitude, a whisper stirred within his heart, a gentle push toward courage, a quiet reminder that the unseen by the world is known and cherished by the Lord of mercy. The warmth of the organ. At the far end of the church, the magnificent pipe organ stood as a silent guardian, a sleeping giant, waiting in hushed anticipation. As Carlos approached, the low, resonant hum of warming pipes began to fill the sacred air, resonating gently through his bones like distant thunder, an unspoken promise of melody yet to be born. Shepherd of my soul, he prayed, his voice a mere breath as his hands hovered above the cold ivory keys. Guide me to where I truly belong. In that stillness, he sensed an answering presence, softer than the gentlest whisper, urging him to cast aside the mask of false ambitions he had worn for so long. Within the cathedral's sacred space, the unseen audience of the divine leaned closer, a warmth spreading through his chest like sunlight cutting through a mist. was a note of surrender, an offering of his unseen self to the one who beholds all, a testament to his deep longing for connection and belonging in the sight of God. A new song. The note lingered like a lone star in the darkened sky, engaging in a gentle dialogue with the air around it. It was as though the very heart of the cathedral had begun to pulse, a slow, steady rhythm that mirrored the beating of his heart. Carlos closed his eyes, and within that moment of silence, a vision unfurled before him. He saw himself not merely as a solitary custodian, but as a steward of the sacred, an essential thread woven into the fabric of something far greater. With a heart full of newfound courage, he let his fingers dance across the keys, coaxing forth a cascade of music. The organ sang under his touch, a river of sound flowing through the nave, each note a beacon of gratitude, each chord a prayer sent heavenward. The music was a hymn of thanksgiving and praise, a testament to the rediscovered joy within his soul. As the last note faded into the ether, Carlos felt a profound release, a peeling away of the false identities he had worn for so long, stepping into the radiant light of true belonging. The dawn of transformation, when the final note had melted into silence, the sacred space felt transformed, as if the ancient walls had drawn closer, leaning in to absorb the richness of this moment. The bricks and mortar.
Whispers of distress in the dim glow of the ER's fluorescent lights. Emily sat hunched over her reception desk, surrounded by the steady ring of telephones and the rustle of feet against sterile tiles. The emergency room was a cacophony of life at its rawest. Cries of pain, the whir of machinery, and urgent murmurs of medical staff in transit. Her fingers encircled a chipped mug, steam rising in thin spirals from her fourth cup of weak coffee. The bitter aroma mingling with antiseptic to form a scent that was both familiar and numbing. Each call another name, another urgent need. Each life a story breaking through the thin veneer of routine. At times, names blurred into a single, continuous plea for help, unending and relentless. Emily fumbled with the lamp on her desk, adjusting its beam in a futile attempt to chase away the almost tangible fatigue clinging to her. Her shoulders drooped under the invisible weight of responsibility. As the calls poured in, she closed her eyes briefly, whispering a desperate prayer under her breath. Lord of mercy, help me remember their names. Let none go unseen by you. Her heart ached with the weight of each life, each story spinning through her hands like sand, impossible to hold, each grain a testimony of human fragility. As she spoke the prayer, an unfamiliar calm washed over her, as if a gentle hand had rested upon her weary shoulder. Her fingers ceased their trembling, steadied by a peace that transcended the chaos around her. She inhaled deeply, the air filling her lungs with reassurance, and she returned to the phone with renewed focus, feeling the presence of grace in each breath. The threshold of surrender. Hours slipped away beneath the relentless fluorescent glare, and Emily found herself staring at the clock, as if time itself were some impenetrable fortress. The faces passing by her desk blurred into indistinguishable shades of desperation and pain. Each encounter was a reflection of human suffering, and yet she felt her resolve dissolving into the floor, her spirit waning with each moment. Another shift, another name forgotten, another human lost in the crowd. This haunted her heart. In a rare moment of respite, she stepped outside, the cool night air a balm against her flushed cheeks. The wind carried the scent of rain, promising renewal. And the night sky was cloud-wrapped, void of stars and yet full of promise. She touched the cross pendant around her neck, its weight a reminder of a covenant unbroken, heavy yet comforting. There, beneath the dark canopy, Emily sank to the ground, her knees pressing into the earth as she prayed a second time. Shepherd of my soul, she began, her voice cracking under the strain of unshed tears. I am lost. Take this burden of guilt from my shoulders. Show me how to see your children, truly see them, in their suffering and need. In that quiet communion, she was met with an unexpected urge, a nudge to let go, to release the burden she clung to believe, truly believe, that love indeed keeps its promise. The urge was a whisper of God within her, urging her to trust once more that He is the keeper of all souls. Her heart lightened, tears mingling with the soft rain beginning to fall, washing her clean of doubt. She stood, clothed in newfound courage, the darkness now a canvas of infinite possibilities. The gift of sight, re-entering the warmth of the hospital, Emily felt the air around her hum with a vibrant energy, as if imbued with the spirit of hope she carried within her. She approached her desk, the familiar chaos unfolding, yet with a new clarity seeping into her soul. The lamp on her desk burned brighter now, cutting through the shadows of weariness that had plagued her. As people moved past, she looked into each face, her eyes seeking what her heart had before overlooked, a reflection of the divine. She approached one young man, his posture slumped, eyes cast downward, a picture of quiet despair. "Hello there," she greeted gently, her voice a soothing balm against the harshness of the night. "I'm Emily. What name can I call upon when I pray for you tonight?" For the first time, she saw him, truly saw him, and he shared a soft smile, the first of the night, a fragile glow in the dark. "Daniel," he replied, his voice barely above a whisper, yet filled with the weight of hope. Through the evening, Emily repeated the gesture, and her desk transformed into a beacon of hope, a lighthouse in the stormy sea of human suffering. The ear's noise remained, a constant backdrop. But now the names she gathered were etched onto her heart, offerings brought before the Holy One in prayer. Each one, a soul enveloped in divine love.
Lord, you guide my weary soul. Anoint my eyes to see as you see. May love fulfill its promise through me. Keep me in your light always. Amen.
In the biting chill of late autumn, a cold wind whistled through the eaves as Martha sifted through the dusty boxes in her attic, each filled with the echoes of a life once lively, but now shrouded in the solitude of her grief. Her fingers brushed across a worn hymnal, its lavender-scented pages a tender relic of Thomas, her late husband. That hymnal with its dog-eared corners and faded ink held the melody of their shared life, the lullabies of love they once sang together. As she opened to his favorite hymn, Blessed Assurance, a soft, mournful note echoed faintly in her heart, and a solitary tear slipped down her cheek, tracing a path through the dusty silence. She remembered the comforting warmth of Thomas's hand in hers during evening prayers, and the shared whispers of faith that had filled their home with light. Suddenly, the doorbell's chime interrupted her reverie, an unwelcome intruder in her world of reminiscence. With a heavy sigh, she placed the hymnal gently back, as if laying down a part of her own heart, and made her way down the creaking stairs. Each step reverberated like a rhythmic reminder of her solitude, while the attic wind seemed to nudge her gently toward a world waiting beyond her grief. an unexpected visitor. At the door stood Clara, her eyes like lanterns of warmth and friendship, holding a basket of warm bread that breathed fresh life into the chilly air. Clara's eyes, warm and inviting, softened Martha's resolve to remain hidden away, cocooned in her memories. "Martha, we've missed you at church, it's been too long," Clara said, her voice gentle yet insistent, like that of an old friend who saw beyond the walls Martha had built around herself. Martha's heart ached, the weight of the world outside seeming all the more daunting. "I don't know, Clara. It's just since Thomas." Her voice, heavy with loss, faltered under the weight of unshed tears, the words piling into a barrier she could not surmount. That night, as shadows enveloped her room, Martha knelt by her bedside in the soft light of her single lamp. Her whispered prayer was a fragile string of hope cast upward. "Lord of mercy," she murmured, her voice barely above a whisper. "I'm tired of being alone, but I'm scared to step into a world without him. Help me, please." Her plea hung in the air, mingling with the shadows, a tender hope yearning for a response. The call to community. Winter's icy grip slowly yielded to the gentle thaw of spring. Each bud outside the window a reminder of life's resilience. Martha felt a stirring within her soul, an echo of the new life emerging from the earth. The old hymnal in her attic seemed to beckon her, a beacon guiding her to sow for a new life, as Thomas once did. One morning, bathed in the gentle gold of dawn's promise, Martha ascended the attic steps again. This time, she opened the hymnal purposely and began to sing. Her voice, at first tentative, gradually grew stronger, blending with the rustle of leaves as if nature itself joined her hymn. "Lord, shepherd of my soul," she prayed, her heart wide open, "I surrender my fear and solitude. Guide me to plant seeds of faith and hope." Her prayer was a vow, a declaration of her intent to embrace the world anew. Stepping into new light. When Clara knocked again, Martha opened the door wide, the sunlight spilling into her home as she welcomed the world anew. Together they walked to church, the morning light warm on their shoulders, their shared journey beginning with each step, each stride a testament to Martha's resolve to reconnect. In the church garden, Martha worked alongside familiar faces, hands mingling in the soil, her heart unfolding like spring blossoms. The scent of the earth mingled with the laughter of newfound friendships. As conversations flowed and laughter mingled with memories shared, Martha found herself living anew, her heart rich with the love and purpose she feared was lost forever. "You're planting seeds," Clara observed with a smile, "seeds for the life to come." Martha smiled in return, the hymn's chorus echoing joyfully in her heart. She felt the Lord's gentle guidance, leading her from grief to community, from solitude to service, a journey of renewal. Closing prayer. In my fear and solitude, you found me. Thank you for guiding me with love, for planting hope in my heart. Help me sow seeds of faith and friendship, cultivating life anew. May
announced the ringing. The ER echoed with clamor and urgency beneath glaring fluorescent lights. The rhythmic beep of monitors and the hurried footsteps of medical staff created a symphony of controlled chaos. Emily, grounded at the receptionist desk for her night shift, nursed a cooling mug of coffee, a tenuous anchor in the swirling chaos surrounding her. As dusk faded, the stretching shadows hinted at a sun already bid farewell, its warmth just a distant memory. In the midst of this whirlwind, Emily's mind spun with names, faces blurred in relentless tides of arrivals and departures. She closed her eyes briefly against the storm, her fingers tightening around the cup's smooth ceramic surface. Holy One, let me remember their names, for each is seen by you, she murmured, her words a steady anchor amid the internal tempest. Guide me to see beyond the chaos, she prayed, reaching for a moment of calm amidst the surrounding turmoil. Her whispered prayer felt like a fragile tether linking her heart to the divine amidst the cacophony. Evening deepened, ushering in a gentle rain that kissed the hospital windows, blurring the world outside into a kaleidoscope of muted colors. Emily watched as droplets traced paths like tears on glass, glistening in the streetlight's glow. Her heart ached for the unseen souls beyond her desk, imagining their stories, burdens, and hopes. She sensed the divine invitation to release the immense burdens she carried in her heart, though they had quietly accumulated over hours of relentless interactions. Seeking solace, she retreated to the break room, a haven amidst the chaos, a sanctuary where the hum of vending machines seemed like a lullaby. Lord of mercy, she breathed, closing her eyes and releasing burdens to someone greater. Teach me to listen for your voice amidst these trumpets of distress. Let me find your peace even when shadows threaten, she prayed, her words a lifeline reaching towards heaven. In response, the rain's patter transformed into a melody of grace echoing through her soul uplifted. She sensed the divine whisper embracing her heart. Stepped forward with courage, it beckoned renewed by this assurance. Emily returned to her desk, her spirit buoyed, her purpose recharged, ready to face the night with a heart open to the sacred in every encounter. Light in the darkness. Night unraveled in layers of fatigue, each heavier than the last. Faces and voices intermingled in a tapestry of humanity's cries and hopes. Emily sought courage anew with each breath, her eyes skimming over the names, the lifeline she was entrusted to handle. Frustration surged as her pen slipped, but she grounded herself in the shepherd's eternal presence, feeling his calm rooting deep in her heart, steady and sure. In that moment, her gaze fell on the desk lamp. The soft light not only illuminated her workspace, but her heart, revealing a path to peace as she focused outward. Weariness transformed into a heartfelt sense of service. Each name resonated with divine significance as she spoke them, each one a sacred breath of life imbued with God's touch. In those moments, she felt a profound connection to the Creator's work, affirming the sanctity of each soul she encountered. Dawn broke tentatively, painting the sky in hues of gold and blue, ushering in a new day's promise and renewal. Emily felt the night's heavy weight ebbing away, understanding each whispered prayer had unveiled God's gentle guidance. She recognized the beauty in every encounter, each an opportunity to serve with a heart's faith deeply rooted in her soul. As activity eased and the phones quieted, silence descended. A balm to her spirit, Emily stood by the window, the rain now a memory, the air outside sweet with promise. She reflected on the night's journey, her spirit expansive as the sky unfolding before her. Thank you, Lord, she whispered, her heart full of gratitude for the unseen strength that had carried her through the night, transforming weariness into wonder.
Shepherd of my soul, Let your light guide me through the shadows. Grant me ears to hear your voice amidst the cries. Transform my heart to see your hand in every face I meet. May your peace fill this place today and always.
Let your knees find strength. Act I, a broken melody. Samuel's fingers danced across his guitar strings, serenading the evening river that flowed languidly behind him. As the sun set, it painted the sky in amber and indigo, transforming the city into a landscape of shadows and silhouettes, each building becoming a whispering monument. His music melded with this transformation, a ritual of harmony until, snap, a string broke, disrupting the peace and leaving a jarring silence that echoed Samuel's inner void. He sighed, slumping forward as his breath clouded the cool air. His guitar, once his vessel of dreams, now silent, lay across his lap, heavy with missing notes and deferred dreams. Eyes closed against the encroaching dusk, Samuel whispered to God, his plea as soft and desperate as the river's flow. God, he breathed, what am I without a song? Is this where my journey ends? A hum in the silence. The city's heartbeat drummed on, indifferent to Samuel's solitude and despair. People moved purposefully, shadowed figures in the dimming light. In this anonymous crowd, a woman paused, her eyes soft yet aware. She had heard the guitar's lament in the silence that followed lingering. She began to hum, a gentle sound weaving through the air like silk. Samuel watched, his heart caught between curiosity and hope. Her melody resonated with him, urging him to recall forgotten dreams. Was it mere chance, or a message from the shepherd of his soul? He strained to listen beyond her hum, reaching for a rhythm that touched the hidden corners of his heart. Kneeling on the cobblestones, he prayed surrender and hope intertwined. Holy One, guide me. If this path is yours, let me find the strength to walk it anew. A step of faith. The woman's song lingered in Samuel's thoughts, hope planted in fertile soil, under a street lamp's glow. He began restraining his guitar. Each groove on the guitar body echoed past trials and victories, a testament to resilience. As he replaced the broken string, his fingers adapted to its tension. His first strum was tentative, sending ripples through the air. Listening with his soul, he let his fingers follow his heart's lead. A melody emerged, woven with the woman's hum. Her silhouette, a gentle specter bathed in nearby light. God's guiding hand, unseen yet felt, manifested in her song. A promise that from brokenness, new music could arise. Dusk's promise. Samuel's revived tune merged with the evening air, signaling a deep change within, a rebirth of purpose banishing doubt's shadows. The weight of uncertainty lifted, replaced by a resolve as steady as the river beside him. He played not for coins, but to honor divine whispers on the wind. urging him forward. His song unfolded like a prayer, drawing passers-by into its harmony. Coins clinked into his case, each one a whisper of encouragement. Yet it was the nods of understanding that truly nourished his spirit. The night became a tapestry of faith and renewal, chronicling his journey back to hope. Samuel's heart, once burdened, now soared with each note, an offering to the heavens.
Each note finds strength in you. Amen. A flicker of doubt in the dim hollow of the seminary chapel. Young seminarian Simon felt adrift in a spiritual fog. Dawn's cool air whispered through stone arches, mingling the scent of dew-laden grass with the chapel's ancient stones. A shaft of pale light pierced the stained glass, painting the pews in ephemeral hues. Outside, birds welcomed the day with song, but inside Simon, a cold unease gripped his heart. Simon knelt at the altar where the chapel lamp flickered, fighting against doubt. Though trained in prayer, his heart longed for a connection deeper than words. An old priest's words echoed in his mind. Sometimes the holiest prayers are born from listening. Shepherd of my soul, Simon whispered, his voice a fragile thread in the silence. Guide me through this storm of doubt. Help me hear your voice in the silence. In silence, the heart speaks. The chapel doors creaked open as Father Thomas entered. His presence is comforting as the morning light. His footsteps were a rhythmic accompaniment to the silence. Each step an assertion of fate. Simon watched the old priest, whose eyes rested on the flickering lamp. His face, a canvas of prayers past. Father Thomas sat beside Simon, saying nothing, offering a silent solidarity that eased Simon's heart. His next prayer preparation for peace, a sacred conversation with the divine. Holy One, Simon breathed, hands clasped. If you wish for me to walk into this wind of uncertainty, grant me courage, even when the path is unclear. He listened not for words, but for a stillness beyond understanding. Within that silence came a subtle nudge, gentle as dawn's first light. Walk forward, it seemed to say, and I will guide you through the unseen. Step into the light, resolve to act on the divine whispers. Simon rose, faith settling into his bones, leaving the chapel. His footsteps echoed like drum beats, a symphony of newfound resolve. The morning air kissed his cheeks, reminding him of the world's raw beauty awaiting beyond the doors. Stepping into the courtyard, the sky awash with gold and vermilion. Simon inhaled deeply, each breath mingled with the scent of blooming flowers, each step a testament to new beginnings. He pondered the call, not as a test of endurance, but as a journey toward trust. With each step, the burden of knowing lifted, replaced by the joy of discovery. The morning sun lit his path, chasing away shadows of doubt. Trust, he realized, was not demanded but invited. A deeper relationship with the Lord, a journey marked by grace and renewal. Each dawn promising rebirth. Lord of mercy, shepherd of my soul, in silence